my favorite time of the year, and that is Christmas and being able to decorate my home. I am so excited today to show you how I go about decorating my Christmas trees. Okay, so in this room, this is our main living room. We have a really tall tree that we bought from Costco. I love this tree. We've had it now, I think this is our third or fourth, might be our fourth Christmas with it. And I love decorating it. And I've learning over the years ways to fill in such a large Christmas tree. But the things that I use in this video today, you can use these techniques with any size Christmas tree. And I also have a Christmas tree in my kitchen, so I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that I like to do it. I love starting with ribbon, and I feel like that is a really big key in really making your Christmas tree feel, have texture to it and just feel full. Some people like to put the ribbon on first, and some people like to do it last. I really love to do it first, but it's definitely personal preference. And how I'm doing it this year, I actually did this technique last year as well. And I took about 3 feet of ribbon and cut it in strips. And I like to take different colors and different thicknesses. I think key is just finding a ribbon that is wired, because that is really going to keep the shape in it for you and be a lot easier to work with. So I do silver and gold in my living room, and with this ribbon it's kind of nice because if you use it for a couple of years and then you get tired of it and you want to add a different color, you can just pop it out and add something new. So I already have these cut because I used them last year, but I am adding in a new ribbon this year, and it has a little bit of black in it with the gold and the white. So I'm going to get these cut and I'm going to show you how I place them in my tree. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you get your tree out, I am thankful that Brett put this up for me last night, and when he puts our tree up, he does fluff it. However, when I go through, I'm sure when I pan this back and you can see the full thing, you'll see some spots in here. So as I'm decorating the tree, I go along and continue to fluff it up. But definitely fluffing your branches is a huge step. It's definitely not the funnest part of the process, but it's important. And then the next step I do is putting the ribbon in. So like I said, I just cut these in strips, and then what you're going to do is take an end. I like to start kind of in the center of the tree and work my way up and around. But basically all I did right here is you tuck the ribbon back, and I use the branches from the tree to tie it around. Sometimes you can just kind of stick it in there and it will stay. Like this one I don't have tied, it's just tucked in there. And I like to do these in all different directions. So since I did mine this way with this one, I'm going to come in and do it the opposite way. And you want to take about a half of your ribbon, maybe not quite half, so they're not exactly the same size tufts in it, and you're just gonna pinch your ribbon together and then do that again, which I'm just taking one of the branches and tying it around. You could use wire if you wanted to, if you didn't want to tie it to your branch, but I love using the branch because it's already right there, and it's also green, so it just really ties in with the ribbon. And then you take your end of the ribbon and do the same thing. Again, a lot of times on this last one, you can just tuck it in. And then just kind of get it to how you want it. All right, so I'm just gonna go through and show you how I fill the tree in using that method. And honestly, once I was done and I looked back at it, I feel like I did a worse job this year than I did last year. I think because I was filming it, I was more focused on what was in the shot than what I was actually doing. Usually I step back and look at it a lot more than I did this time. But one thing about that is this is just the first step, and I promise you it looks better as you keep adding to it. So my next thing that I like to do is take my biggest bulbs that I have, and you guys, last year I picked these up at the Dollar Tree. And I was so excited about it because ornaments can be really expensive. And I want my tree to look really nice and high end, but I don't always want to pay the high end price. So I love finding something like this that is going to fill my tree up without costing a fortune. To my Christmas tree that's in my kitchen. I love this flocked Christmas tree. I picked it up at Walmart. It's 7.5 foot, and I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. Last year I bought this white and black buffalo check ribbon. I think I picked this up at Michael's, and I really love it. It's not as stiff as the other ribbon that I used on my other tree. So I found this way was a little bit easier in here. Plus I think it just gives a little bit more of a casual look the way that I'm gonna do it. And I just left the wire on here from last year, so it's gonna make it super simple to attach it to my tree. Let me show you how I do it. So with these white ribbons that I had cut shorter, this ribbon I remember from last year was kind of hard to work with in long strips. So what I like to do with this is just kind of work in these sections in between my buffalo check ribbon, and then just make it look like it's kind of cascading down in a diagonal pattern. All right, now that the ribbon is on there, it's time to put the ornaments. And every year I try to add a little bit to my collection. I think it's hard to try to get everything at one time. So last year I got these larger bulbs. I got them in white and silver. I actually picked some up in red too because I thought I wanted to incorporate red on my tree. I do have a little bit of red tucked here and there in my kitchen, but I decided I didn't want to go that route. So anyway, most of my tree is white and silvers, and then I added the black last year with a little touch of the turquoise blue. But I also have these little guys that I got at Pier 1 5 years ago, and I absolutely love these. So I am going to put the ornaments on my tree. So I hope that helped you get some ideas for your Christmas tree this year. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them below. We would love to chat with you. I would love to see some of your Christmas trees, and I'm really excited to share some more ideas with you for the season. Stay blessed.